Good day, every day. Welcome to the Digital Collective. I'm your host, James Hicks from Hicks New Media. And on this show, we focus on the people, platforms, and tools that are making positive strides within the technology sector today. My guest today is Mr. Walker Williams, who is the co founder and CPO at FourthWall. Many of you are digital creators and entrepreneurs in this community, and having multiple streams of income is critical, right? Having a solid personal and professional brand representation for you and your customers is critical. That's where Fourth Wall comes into play by allowing you to build an online presence that contains merch, memberships, digital products, all the things set up by you with your own look and feel and easily scaled as your needs change. I'm looking forward to today's conversation. I know it's going to be a good one. Let's get it in, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, Walker Williams is in the building. Let me just pause for a minute and acknowledge we got some greatness on the screen. Man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
No, man. Listen, the pleasure is mine. The pleasure is my community and everyone that's watching. We streaming everywhere today. We're on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube, Facebook, all the places, right? Because this is a conversation that folks that reside in those locations need to hear this conversation. I started off with a little bit of a monologue, right, saying in terms of what it is that Fourth Wall is, but it's always best to hear, I guess, the origin story from the person who started the darn thing, right? And
Yep.
if you don't mind just telling us what Fourth Wall is, why Fourth Wall, and then kind of the roles that you have within the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. So FourthWall is a platform for content creators and really anyone with an audience or community. And our goal is to make it much, much easier for people to set up their own online presence and to set things up like shops, homepages, memberships, and really, monetize and be able to build a sustainable business from this community that they've built, their audience. And really the reason for why is, I was a massive fan of content creators. I grew up playing video games. I watched a lot of YouTube, got into Twitch, and I was fascinated by this world, which is also extremely entrepreneurial. And yet, when the people, my previous company, Teespring, uh, some of our customers were content creators. And when I was speaking to these content creators, what I would find is that even though they had these enormous audiences, they were reaching thousands or even millions of people, even on a weekly basis, they really struggled when it came to the business side. Their art was in the entertainment and the audience building, but on the money making side, on the setting up a website, on e-commerce, they were totally lost. And I just thought it was so crazy that they had to not only be an entertainer and build this huge audience and compete on YouTube and compete on Twitch, which is super competitive in and of itself, but then also they had to figure out how to set up the money making side of it because the platforms don't pay that much. And so that was the impetus. It
Okay.
was seeing that this creator community was underserved, and the tools that were out there like Shopify were expensive, they were complex, you still had to handle manufacturing and fulfillment. And I just felt like we could build something better, and that was really the reason that I left Teespring, or there's a little more detail in there, but to start Fourth Wall, and we've been building ever since.
Okay, that's cool. So, and I appreciate you being transparent in that because I was literally going to ask you that as one of my next questions. The evolution from Teespring into now something that is Fourth Wall, and now the fact that it's almost like you took everything that you learned. I'm third person looking at, right? That you learned from starting Teespring and wrapped it into Fourth Wall, and as you said, made it more convenient, made it more efficient, and kind of as I was saying in the monologue, set up by you, by the creator, by the entrepreneur, and made to look the way that you wanted to look, and just having that flexibility and that capability, right? I mean, I'm able to do like literally right now, I can do like a promo code or something on the fly and have that show up within my offering for folks. Where did that mindset though come in? Because I know you talked a little bit about where did that mindset about having just that ease of use and those capabilities for creators and for entrepreneurs to have, because again, having multiple streams of income, kind of as I talked about, having that flexibility, where did that come from? Did you I don't know. Did you sit around with the A team and say this is what we're going to do, or where did that mindset come from?
It's funny. Here, I'll show you. I've been thinking about this for, what has become FourthWall for so long. And so I have these notebooks, and I'm a product guy, so it's all user experience sketches, etc. And I started working on it at the end of 2018 when I was still at Teespring, and it was where I wanted Teespring to go as a company, in terms of being as customizable and flexible as a Shopify, but also as easy to use as a Teespring. That was my dream. Could I combine these two things? But I literally have over 20 of these full notebooks now of all of the thinking around how do we give people something that is as flexible and customizable as they need, but without making it into this power tool where they're going to have to spend hours a week learning it and having it be really complicated like a Shopify is. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of that, but it's also as a company, you know, I don't know if people know much about Teespring, but it had a crazy journey. I started it when I was really young. I was in college when it started, and I was kind of along for the ride.
yeah,
Like it grew like crazy. Within a couple of years, we were doing hundreds of millions of dollars a year of sales, which was insane. And honestly, I was just holding on. But you know, when we first launched Teespring, I was really proud of the product. I was really proud of how it worked and how easy it was. And then somewhere in the process over those years and that growth, all of a sudden it had gotten complicated. It had gotten
mm,
confusing. We were asking users to make compromises that, I personally as an entrepreneur wouldn't want to make, like not being able to own my branding or be able to customize things. And, by the time I got the confidence to say, hey, this is really where I think we should go, the company was already pretty big. And really the only way to do it was to, effectively split out and start a new company, which is what became FourthWall.
that is really that's a an interesting story, and that hindsight, right? I guess will also help creators, entrepreneurs, folks who are looking to start up a digital presence similar to Fourth Wall or on Fourth Wall, understand the why, right? Understand that you actually had intention in terms of what you were doing, and understand why you did it, and that helps us to resonate with you, right? Resonate with the goal and the mission, because if that's in line with what we're looking to build as well from a digital property, a digital presence, things of that nature, then I'm a wave the flag and advocate for you all day. I kind of have been already too, because
Yeah, yeah.
I, I know a handful of, well, maybe a ton of Ecamm network folks are either going to be watching live or going to be watching on the replay. And I got a handful of questions they've asked. So expect a call eventually from some of those folks as well from Massachusetts and from Hawaii about Fourth Wall. Um, but I digress. Let me ask you this, man. The integrations that you have, the
Mhm.
features and capabilities that you have, nobody else is doing that. And one in particular that I'm talking about, which is the coolest thing out there, is that thank you video. Dude, let me tell you something. Someone buys something and I get the notifications on the mobile app, which is dope because the mobile app is very functional. It's not just a read only or a push kind of thing. But when I can sit there and see what they bought and send them a personalized video right to their inbox, again, that's what we do, right? I mean, that again is individual, that is branding, that is all the things. What made you guys think of doing something really cool like that?
Yeah, I mean, we started from the base that, hey, we're working with people that have an audience that love them, that love what they do. And when they buy something, yeah, they want it to be a good design and a high quality product and a fair price. But they're also buying because they want to support this person that they love and they love
Mm,
whatever art it is they put out. Right. And so, what would really make them feel special? And then we thought, well, the best thing would be to have them feel appreciated and recognized for that support they give, that payment to buy a product or donate or whatever it might be. But how do you do that in a way where the creator doesn't have to do a lot of manual work on their side, right? Because you're already busy. You got to create the show, you're planning, you're scheduling, you're interacting with your community. And so we kind of started with this kernel of, we know that people that are supporting creators would love to get a little thank you, love to get some love and recognition for their support. But can we do it in a way where it's, a 10, 15, 20 seconds of the creator's time to record something that still feels special? And that's what turned into the thank you app. And I agree, it's my favorite feature as
dude,
well. I
it's the
still, I
coolest thing
still
going, man. It's the coolest thing. All right, so now you didn't give us the top of the mountaintop, and we're greedy, right? We want, we need. What kind of next integrations are you guys thinking of? You don't give anything under NDA or nothing like that, but I mean, where else can you go? What else can you give us to give our community? Because at the end of the day, you know, it's all about the community and giving back and things of
Yep.
that nature. But what are you guys thinking about maybe next from an integration perspective or even a functionality and capability perspective?
There's so much coming. I think another big difference of FourthWall is, the company's about 65 people total, of which 45 are in the product organization. They're basically 40 engineers. We're all engineers and builders. We have a very small sales team, like one person, two people on the marketing team. We're just building something great, and we're hoping that, if we do, people will eventually hear about it and talk about it, and we'll continue to grow. So we have a few different things coming. On the integration side, we have other ways to help you make your audience feel special. So we're trying to help with, basically sharing people's names in your video. Can we create clips or video things that you could insert at the end that show off all of your supporters? We want to support more platforms. Like right now, we have great stream alert integrations for Twitch. Can we bring some of that functionality as well as like gifting to YouTube Live? To Instagram Live, TikTok Live. We're doing deals with the big platforms, so it's easier to put your products on your TikTok, on your Instagram. We already have YouTube merch shelf, but we want to make that even easier. So there's so much coming. And then there's also so many improvements on the platform side. So right now we're setting up, a ton of new manufacturing relationships so that we can massively expand the product catalog, allow people, like another example of a great integration we're planning is if people take a photo of themselves in the product, it'll automatically, ping the store owner and they can upload it to the product page as like, fan
Dude,
uploaded
come
photos.
on, man. That
There's so much goodness. And
that's it right there, brother.
I love it. I'm telling you, it's my dream job. I was the CEO of Teespring and I hated it. Every day I'd wake up and think, okay, I got to survive. I got 10 hours and I'm out.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't happy. I'm a product guy. And so Fourth Wall, I'm the head of product. All I do all day is think about how do I make this platform better. And then we have an amazing team that, brings it to life. So
That's
it's
cool.
fun to build.
That's real cool. And I love honestly how responsive your team is. Yeah, I know you guys, they go live on Twitch a lot of time and very, very frequently. I know you got the Discord community as well. The fact that they listen to creators and the fact that you're talking about doing some more integration, because some of us have, I'll say it, admittedly moved from Twitch, right? So not
Yeah,
necessarily
of course.
streaming or using that platform. So bringing some of that capability, some of that gifting, some of that stuff over to the YouTube side. That's where
Yep.
a lot of us are living now. And I know I'm talking to the choir right now, but having that and how easy it was to integrate the YouTube merch shelf. I mean that's that great start. But man, being able to have something pop up when someone buys something from the store and reward them, gift them,
Yep.
acknowledge them, and just do all the things like that. That's what we're looking for, man. So it's good to hear from you. I'm not gonna call you a horse, but from the horse's mouth that you're working on that kind of stuff.
Definitely. There's so much more coming. 18 months ago, you couldn't even use Fourth Wall. It was, we'd have to manually set everything up in the back end, and it wasn't even a usable platform. So everything you see today has been really implemented and built over the last 18 months. So I'm so excited to show what we're going to be able to do
Okay.
over the next 6 months, over the next 12 months. There's so many things that are in the works right now to make the experience better.
That's an interesting timeline because I think that may have been right when I was introduced to Fourth Wall because Google had their like secret labs platform that they were trying to do. I know you know the name. I forgot it off the top of my head. So I was working with them and then that failed or that they changed directions. I'll just say that. And then I said, Okay, let me see what else other people are doing because I would prefer to actually use something different as opposed to what everyone is doing. And specifically was looking for something that already integrated into YouTube merch shelf and boom, there you guys were. So
Yeah.
that's good stuff, man. Um,
Literally January 2022 was when we opened the doors, and
okay.
and at that time I was terrified. I was embarrassed of the experience. So hopefully you've seen a lot of momentum and progress over this last year.
Again, I'm telling folks about it. This is that's how I'm going to end the show when we do it. And I'm just going to tell everyone, I'm going to throw my referral link in and say, listen, come on over to FourthWall so I can get some more sample credits or whatever the case may be. Um, from a product perspective, I like the fact as well that we have, as store owners, have the flexibility of choosing where these products come from. Right.
Mhm.
So US based, UK based, different types of brands as well, Champion, Gilded, things of that nature. Uh, the product listing and product categories, is that going to be expanding into some different types of more unique features and options as well? Or are you pretty much going to stay with kind of standard shirts, hats?
Oh, we're always trying to expand it. Like just this week, we got our first food product in. It's a hot sauce brand for a
Yeah.
creator, and
Okay.
so we usually start with these kind of small pilots and then try to expand it from there. But I think we're at something around like 100, 150 products. We want to make that 500 in the next like 18 months. And the biggest challenge, of course, is that we want to expand the catalog, but we also want to make sure the quality is always there, right? So
Good point.
it's always this battle between we want to move fast, but without ever introducing something where creators have to think, well, just because it's on FourthWall doesn't mean it's high quality. I need to go deeper and order samples, etc. Samples are great, but there should be a level of trust that everything you get off FourthWall is high quality. But just in terms of what we have in the works, we're helping setting up some cosmetics brands and working on setting up the manufacturing relationships there, jewelry brands, food product brands like non-perishable foods, so candy, hot sauces, things that have a really long shelf life.
If you
Just
say
make
coffee, because I
coffee.
work with another distributor and I have my own private label coffee. Brother, if you do coffee,
We would love to, and you can even today list your coffee on your FourthWall shop. You can sell products that you handle the
yeah,
fulfillment on. Those tools are a little rough, honestly. That's still hasn't gotten the love that a lot of other features have over the
yeah,
last 18 months, but we plan on improving that tool as well. But again, it's all just you mentioned our Discord and our support team. All of those threads, we have a weekly meeting and I go through and I spend about an hour looking at what people are saying on Twitter, what are people saying in Discord, thinking about, hey, are we working on the right things? And the whole team does. So that feedback that you all give us, whether it's through contacting customer support, Discord, or Twitter, it's heard and it goes through our team Slack and we talk about it on a weekly basis. And one of our co-founders, just to give you a sense of how important we think support and community for the creators we work with, is one of our co-founders heads up the support team, and that's his focus. And
okay,
it's just
wow,
because it's as important as anything else, staying connected to the people actually using the platform, making sure, there's another lesson from Teespring, but I felt after a certain amount of time that our customer became the investors. I
hmm
was spending more time thinking about keeping the investors happy and what was going to make them excited and let me get that next round of money. FourthWall, very set up from the early days. We don't need any more money. We're right on the edge of profitability and well funded, and very set up to only be focused on the customers and only take investors that respect that as well.
I love that. I love that, and that again, that transparency. So I appreciate you for mentioning that and saying that. You talked about support. You talked about folks that are reaching out, and again, I'd be remiss or I'd get in trouble if I didn't ask the question from some of the folks in the community that are asking. They're on the wait list.
Yeah,
I guess that's all I got to say, right?
yeah.
They're on the wait list. Um, how long is that queue? What does that queue look like right now from people being able to get? And what are the requirements, I guess, to actually spin up a FourthWall property? I guess let's start with there. What are the kind of the minimum requirements if you have any, and then how long have you seen it typically taken to get off of that wait list?
It's a few weeks right now, and we are trying to move through it. And I think the wait list in general is, it's not a permanent thing. It's another one of these things where we say, hey, maybe if we got rid of it today, we could grow a little faster, but we couldn't guarantee the level of service and experience. So we want to go slow, not get too ahead of ourselves where all of a sudden the support team can't keep up and they can't provide that great service that you've felt so far. So I hope that we're able to, get rid of that wait list and really let anyone that wants to come in the next, I would say probably 6 months. Right now we are still a few weeks back. But hopefully it's not more than a couple weeks. It's just the team, making sure that we don't add more then we're able to give a great experience to. So
That's cool.
hopefully not too long. Maybe it's dragged a little closer to 3 weeks or 4 weeks right now, but I do want to get rid of that. That's not a permanent thing. It's just a reality of making sure everyone that does get in has a great experience.
And then we can respect that. And I am now off of the hook. I'm not going to be in trouble with my colleagues because I've got it recorded. I asked a question to the man with the plan in and of himself. Um, what products, and again from a product perspective, are you seeing have the most engagement, or what products sell the best? Right? Should we be locked in on creating hats, shirts, canvas items, uh, bottles? What are you seeing really move the needle in terms of a great design on it and then moving the door?
Of course. I think what I've been surprised about is how different it is for different creators. There's
Hmm.
no universal answer. I can tell you that I would always recommend that when you start, you go with something that you can produce on demand so you don't have to take inventory risk right out of the gate. Just lower the stress in your life a little bit. And that's mostly apparel product. But, what my recommendation is to creators is pick something that you genuinely are going to use or wear that you love, because when your community buys something from you, it's an act of support as well as a purchase of something they want. If it's something that they know is
Hmm.
authentic to you and that you would actually use and wear and that you're proud of, your sales are going to go way up. It's about finding something that's perfect for you. But we've got people where apparel is by far the best seller. We've got people where donations are the big driver. We've got people where it's mugs or drinkware, tumblers, plushies. We have other people that sell 50 times as many plushies as they sell apparel. And it's just about what are they most excited about? Like what can the community feel is authentic to them and something they're actually, behind and proud of.
That's a good point. It all depends what resonates with your particular community. Because again, we're not. I didn't make the mug on your site just for me. I made it right again for see the quick little product pitch right there, little promo there. Okay, well, man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. And we already talked about a little bit what's next. Talked about the support and how really attentive to detail and things of that you are. Uh, any additional types of integrations coming in? Because again, we talked about the YouTube shelf, talked about some
Yep.
of that stuff. But again, so I saw on the website there was actually, so I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Sure.
Somebody, I think it was Phillips here. He actually had something that popped up. And of course now it's not going to do it because I've already done it before. But that call to action, right? I believe he had a call to action pop up,
Yeah.
and I know I can embed some HTML, and I know I can bring in my Discord, my Instagram, and some
Yep.
other things. But how do you do that particular call to action? Because I think that's very catchy, and having something like that right in people's face is a really cool thing.
Definitely. Yeah. We want to help with that. Those sort of what we call like an interstitial where it pops up
Yeah.
and it says, join the email list or 30% off. And that'll come into the website editor, the theme editor tool. There's a dedicated team that's working on improving that. And even over the last like month or two, there's been a lot of improvements standardizing and making that, website editor tool more powerful. So that's another one of what we call sections that we want to add to the tool that people can just add on their own. And you should be seeing more and more in your even just every on a weekly basis. But I think that one specifically is probably like a month or two out, but we will absolutely add it. It's a great example of something that we want to make as easy as a drag and drop, and then you'll say, do you want it to collect emails or do you want it to be email and the person gets a discount promo code?
Yeah.
Giving you tools and customization, but those are effective.
I love this because, man, here, this is me, another selfless pitch, right? Right when you scroll down, I would love to have that piece right there that pops up and says, "Listen, join the membership. Uh,
Yep.
send the old guy a couple of nickels because he's got two kids in college. Whatever the case may be, right? That would be just huge, and that would be amazing. So that's really dope, man. I see Dealcasters in here saying, "On demand is life. No more warehouses full of extra medium T-shirts."
Yep. That sounds like
We need to get
that's vision
Dealcasters
defining.
on. If so, I don't know if that's Jim or if that's Chris. We need to get them over on Fourth Wall. I was just fortunate enough to get one of their T-shirts. I'm not sure if it came from Fourth Wall, but hey, Walker is here, man. We need. another phenomenal set of influencers and advocates and live streamers. So again, these are the folks that I'm talking about, right? Saying they need to come over here because one, you've got the longevity. One, you've got the right mindset. One, you've got the real understanding and know how to move products quickly. Right. I just had someone buy something, and he lives in Hawaii, and I see it's already shipped after only 3 days. Now,
Yep.
the design was pretty straightforward, and he didn't have to be reconstructed, reconfigured. But that's huge to be able to see again, coming from wherever in the 48 contiguous states, all the way going over to Hawaii, and it's already shipped after he just bought it 2 days ago. That's a good feeling for me because I know he's going to get it when it gets across the Pacific Ocean. But that kind of stuff.
It's pretty quick to Hawaii, actually.
Really? Okay.
We track those on time deliveries and on time shippings very, very closely. And it's, for on demand products, it's like 97, 98% right now. So we take that very seriously. We know it's part of delivering a good experience, making sure
Yeah.
that when someone spends their hard earned money, that they get the product that they expect or exceeds expectations and that it's on time.
I want to talk about support just real quick because this was something that the person I'm talking about who lives in Hawaii, who just now is starting up, and he's about to launch his site on the first. And it was a question about how the support of the platform is for the creator in and of itself. So doing those DNS changes, right? I think he was hesitant to do the DNS changes because of there were so many. And I explained to him kind of in a text message that why that was happening. But again, I would rather hear it from you, uh, the rationale behind having to go in and create a support, create a feedback, create all of those updates within your environment. So if you don't mind talking a little bit about doing
For
that.
sure. So the reason that our DNS list is longer than other providers is because we also handle a lot of the customer support, right? And so basically the way we think about customer support is we're going to do everything that we can. And if it's a question we can't answer, then we send it to you. But if someone asks about the website, if they, are running into a problem with the website, or if it's a product that we're manufacturing and fulfilling for you, and they want to check in and ask if it got, if it shipped or if the correct address was on it, we handle all that on your behalf. So we need to set up that email so that support@yourdomain.com works and routes to our Zendesk account, and just so that it's all smooth. But we actually, if you use Google Domains or GoDaddy, about I think like 15 or 20 of the more common domain registrars now, well, we've integrated a tool that will make it really easy when you click set up your domain. Hopefully, it'll pop something up and you can log into your account, kind of like an OAuth,
Yeah.
and then it'll set it all up for you. So we want to make it easier. We know it's intimidating. There's no real tool to make it easier for every registrar, but for the more popular ones, there's now an app, a service that we work with that literally makes it as simple as logging in, and then it sets it all up on your behalf. So hopefully it's getting easier, and that company is also adding more and more registrars to their service so that there'll be more support for more and more domain registrars.
That's cool. And again, hearing that information directly from you as opposed as the why makes sense and appreciate that. Yeah, when I did it, I just kind of copied and pasted from and made it a subdomain off of my main domain. As you see, social.xnewmedia.com is that. But if folks don't want to do that, they can just do a brand new top level domain, right? They can just do a whole new website and then set that all up. So that again is paying attention to the details, right? I'm a pitch man for FourthWall. Why I need to be? Hold on, I I need to be on the
You're good at
payroll. Let me talk to somebody. I need to be
it.
on the payroll. You know somebody in the C-suite. Okay, no. But again, that attention to detail, taking some of that work from us, you doing that. It looks like we have an extended team that is doing the support, doing the tracking, doing all of that engagement from an admin perspective. That takes us out of that, allows us to stay locked in and focused on our task at hand of shepherding community. And if we're moving products, why not work with the distributor? Why not work with the manufacturer? Why not work with you, right? Who's
Yep.
actually doing all the fulfillment and have you and your teams manage that. So appreciate you for doing that as well. Man, this was cool. Again, I wanted to be cognizant of the time. I know you're here in the Bay Area and the weather is nice. And I know they probably got you, like you said, they got you stacked up with tons of meetings today. But let me ask this: where can people find you if they've got additional questions? Where can they maybe talk to those support teams? I know we talked around it, but if you could talk more too, where folks can get in contact with you and your team.
Yeah, absolutely. So Discord is the most active way to talk to the broader team. Uh, there's a lot of team members in there, including myself. Just from a focus perspective, I only check it about once a week, Fridays actually, and I go through and I spend an hour reading all of the threads and going through it. But my co-founder Eli is in there on a daily basis, and anything that's urgent gets put right up into the team channels on our Slack and gets worked on. But if you ever want to reach me, Twitter is probably the one where I've still got notifications turned on, so I get pinged. And it's a little addiction. So when I go out for a walk or something, I'll check to see if who's talking about FourthWall and if anyone's mentioned me, etc. So if you want to reach me, probably tweet at me is the easiest way. But to talk to me and the broader team, Discord is a really active community. You can put your thoughts and feedback there. Everyone, all the people associated with building product are checking and watching those channels. So that's the best way. But yeah, it's honestly it's so much fun to talk to creators, and I'm really really proud of what the team has done and where we're going, right? And that we've managed to stay so creator focused. So what you see today, I think, is just the starting point of what's possible in terms of how we can help creators, and it's going to be fun seeing where it goes over the next 12 months, over the years. This is I want this to be my last company I ever work on. I want to build just a product masterpiece for you all, and you got my commitment that we're working hard on it.
I love it, man, and I see it in your expression too that you actually you're into it, right? You're ingrained, you're involved, you live in this. So again, that's something that we appreciate, and that's who we want to advocate for. That's who we want to be surrounded by. So, folks, definitely, I will put in the description all the links to the Discord channel. I will keep blowing up Walker on Twitter. Whenever I need him, I'll be in his DMs for sure, and trying to get one of those fourth wall binders that he's got right there. We need to talk about that, man. Put my logo on it. But no, you're killing it, man. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate your team. Appreciate the effort that you're putting in and being conscious about bringing us a quality product and a quality service. So good
Thank
stuff.
you, James, and thank you for taking the opportunity or taking the time to talk with me. And it's an honor. I literally your video as well, when you talk about FourthWall in your videos, that shows up in the Slack. For
Oh, is that
everyone who's
right? Oh man.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, and I think we've built a team that really cares, and they're
Yeah.
working really hard. And so anytime there's public conversation about it, those videos go right in and get shared around. So we really appreciate you being such a champion, and also I hope we continue to live up to it. And certainly if we do drop the ball anywhere, I do want to hear about it. So hopefully all good things, of course.
Man,
But
okay, you just blew me away. Now you're seeing those. Okay, that's pretty cool. We'll talk about that offline. I love that, man. Hey, community. Hopefully you found some value in this. Walker Williams is a cool dude. Fourthwall.com is where you need to be if you want to start up your own merch, if you want to start up your own digital products, if you want to start up a membership. Definitely put them on that short list in terms of when you start considering platforms, because again, they're creator focused, they're entrepreneur focused, and they're just only going upward. So with that, man, I appreciate you, and let's stay together, you guys. We out.